In terms of our infrastructure, the initiatives that we're looking at as a country and as a PPP unit that we are busy facilitating, one of the key things that has happened, I think, which is a new development, is the introduction or the Presidential Infrastructure Coordination Commission, which is actually trying to integrate and form some kind of, make sure that they classify and identify projects that needs to be done in the country, because in most cases we normally have we deliver these kinds of projects haphazardly, and different departments are doing something in one place, but they don't know that they are doing that thing. They are procuring or making some kind of development. So I think this kind of an initiative is trying to make sure that whatever is directed to a certain area, it's more coordinated, because we all know about that kind of a project that is going to be done there. So I think this is one of the initiatives that we can all say, yes, at least government is moving to a right direction in terms of our infrastructure development. And then also what we're saying is we've got different sectors that we're looking at, and I'm sure as a private sector, you are quite aware of the advert that came out yesterday, which came out from PRASA, which is Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa, procuring the rolling stock, which came out yesterday. That's one of the biggest infrastructure that we're looking at in government. And also we have transport. I'm sure most people are not happy about what is also happening with e-tolling, but I'm not going to answer anything about e-tolling today. Sandra is best suitable to answer that question. And then in terms of our basic service delivery infrastructure, we in the country, we are lacking a lot. And in terms of the statistics that we have, in 2009, 2008, we had almost 91% people getting water. That is in terms of the RDP standard. So there's a certain portion that is not getting the services that is required. So we need, and mostly it's the rural areas that are not getting the services that they need. And we will also then be calling on private sector to say, how can you assist government in this? And we all know that government has budgeted over the next 3 years, 844 billion in terms of infrastructure development. And 60% of that is supposed to come from the private sector. In fact, it's going to come from the private sector, and 40% is government, is coming from the fiscus. And you can see that the fiscus is already constrained. So private sector involvement in this kind of project is key in this area. So we would also call on private sector to come and mostly it's our non-financial institutions that will come with this kinds of project in terms of private sector investment. That will be your Transnet, PRASA, like I've just said now, and we also have your assistance in terms of packaging this project with IDC partly funding some of these projects, as well as DBSA. And one of the reasons why we involve these government institutions or DBSA and IDC is to assist the capacity that we have in government in terms of planning and making sure that the project, once it goes to the market, it's a bankable project. It's not one of those projects that will go out there and no one is even interested in bidding because it was poorly drafted and planned. So we have to make sure that whatever we do at the end of the day, if the intention is to involve private sector at the end of the day, then we make sure that the project is geared towards interest, to create that kind of interest, so that we have that kind of competition and we don't see that government having to do the same project itself. So those are the things that I think I say. And one of the last one, Chairperson, initiatives that we do have is on energy sector. I think in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we had finalized some evaluations, or we had evaluations. I'm not sure whether it's been finalized now and the report is out in terms of the renewable energy program that we do have with the Department of Energy. And I'm sure that I believe in September there will be another round of those non-renewable projects that will be coming out to the market. So in a nutshell, we are saying we are open to private sector investment, despite what has also happened in our projects that we did have that were cancelled. But I'm sure, and I can say that that is not the trend that we are looking at. And that is not a trend that we want to go into. We were all hurt by what happened. But what we're saying is we will be there to assist in everything that we can assist in making sure that these infrastructure projects are carried out by government. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.